The best part of this story is I was involved in the very first Old Glory relay, so 10 years ago.
Yep.
And so I was responsible for one day of that cross-country journey. So in Western Pennsylvania, we passed that flag nonstop throughout the day, and the camaraderie we built that day, the relationships we built that day, still goes on 10 years later. So for me, this is tremendous. That was one of the best days of my life, to see that relay come together, to be a part of that. I have goosebumps right now, to be a part of that experience across the country with Team Red, White, and Blue, and to be able to make that happen. And now to lead, to be a member of the Old Glory Ultra Relay team is just a dream, as I say, that I never even had, right?
Yeah.
Never even imagined that this would happen. So yeah, this is very fulfilling for me, and yeah, surreal, to use your word.
Is that much of it? That's not much of a change for you, right?
My name is Mary Kreis. I used to load bombs in the Air Force, and now I'm a writer, a filmmaker, and an entrepreneur. Through using the post-9/11 GI Bill to go to college, working hourly jobs to pay the bills, and freelancing my way into a career, I've studied what it takes to successfully transition from service to civilian, and that study has become a conversation. On this podcast, I speak to other veterans, successful artists and entrepreneurs about their transition, what they did well, where they failed, what they learned, and most importantly, how they applied their skills.
Episode 147 finishes our series with the Team RWB Old Glory Ultra Relay. I interviewed our last runner, Mary Kreis, an Army veteran, associate professor at Pennsylvania Western University, California, participant in this year's RWB Old Glory Ultra Relay, and also participant in the first ever Old Glory Relay.
Well, this is Veteran Made.
Our merch store is live at store.veteranmadeproductions.com. Grab hats, t-shirts, and hoodies in both performance and tri-blend cotton fabrics. Use code VM-5OFF for 5% off your purchase. Veteran Made is also sponsored by GoPills, a military-grade nootropic that contributes to brain health over time. Use code VM15 at checkout for 15% off. I get my collagen protein from Bubs Naturals, where you can use code VETERANMADE, all one word, at checkout for 20% off your order. We're also proud to partner with True Made Foods, which makes condiments free from added sugar and sweetened with real foods. Use code VET at checkout for 15% off. We love socks in this house. I get my wife new socks every Christmas. More importantly, we love American-grown and made socks. Use code VETERANMADE15 at rucksocks.com for 15% off. And lastly, I end my day with Rack Out from Bravo Actual to maintain quality sleep, resulting in a well-rested body and mind. Use code VETERANMADE with a space between the words at checkout for 15% off your order. Enjoy the episode.
All right. We're good to go. All right, Mary, you're good to go?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, good morning from the great state of Ohio. For me, good morning from the great state of California. Mary Kreis, welcome to Veteran Made.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. California.
This is yeah, baby. We're doing this thing. This is super cool. So this is going to be the last episode of the series, which will air 2 weeks after the race, or a week after the race is finished. But we're recording this 2 days before the race starts,
Correct.
which is super fun.
Yeah. From Chula Vista, the elite athlete training facility for Team USA, Olympic and Paralympic athletes.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So yeah, let's dive right in. Like, when did you get into California?
Oh, less than 24 hours ago. Yeah.
Nice. You got in?
Yeah, Team Red, which is the team that I'm on. That's the 4-person relay team that I'm on. All arrived basically at the same time, and we are the only team that is all here. So we have been bonding for the last 24 hours or so and having meals together, training together, going through all the PR and marketing and sponsorships. And so we're really prepping. So we're proud to be representing already.
Yeah. So you've been preparing for this for months, and then now you are there. So like, how does it feel to be in person, to be with your entire sub team there, Team Red? Like, how does it feel 2 days before the race, getting ready to actually make this thing happen?
Yeah, you nailed it right there. It's like, this is really happening. Like, we're really doing this thing. And all of us are saying, we're tired of talking about it. Let's do this thing. Let's get started. So yeah, we're like 36 hours out, something like that. So we're ready to roll. Yeah, it's exciting.
Is it a bit surreal?
It is. It is. But at the same time, last night I slept better than I have for the last week. I think it's being with the team, it's seeing that it's really taking place, the worries are starting to fade, and the adventure is starting to begin.
Yeah, it's funny how our physiology, right? Like our physicality and our mentality and like spiritual, like all those things, like they come together, right? And you would expect that you'd be so nervous, or so excited or so insert whatever emotion that you wouldn't be able to sleep. But like everything has led to these moments, and now you get to enjoy this aspect of it, do some final prep, and then get on the road.
Yeah, yeah. And what you're speaking to is wellness, right? You're speaking to all those dimensions of wellness, the emotional, the intellectual, the environment, the occupational, and then the physical wellness. And that's what Team Red, White, and Blue is all about, is we're the leading organization for health and wellness for veterans. And so all of those components that you just mentioned, whether it's our sleep, we're leaving our jobs, our worries, that we're carrying with us, that emotional part, all of it is kind of coming together and coming to being more at peace now that we're together. And that's what Team Red, White, and Blue does, is bring veterans together. And I have totally experienced that in the last 12 hours of being here. Just that once I'm with my team, once I'm with my fellow veterans, I'm more at peace. And that's what Team Red, White, and Blue does for all of our members.
Yeah. So what's it been like to, obviously you've been to UHP twice, once in December and then once, I think a couple months ago, 6 or so weeks ago, to do some prep. But like, other than that, you guys have all been on the Instagram group chat or the text message group chat or online, but now you're together. Like, what does it really feel like to be with the other three members of Team Red and like, okay, final prep is done. Like, we are getting out on the road. Like, what's your mindset like? What's the energy feel like on the team? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I feel like, we haven't discussed this openly, but I feel like we know each other better than we really
Yeah.
thought we did. We're living
Yeah.
in one room right now. We each have our separate bedrooms, but we're in one suite together. So we're talking, breathing, living, everything together. And this is what it's going to be like on the relay. So, yeah, in these last few hours that we've been here, we've been together more than we have, right, over the past 9 months that we've been preparing for this. So we're eating together, we're filming, we're working out together. And so I feel like we know each other. We know what topics of conversation we each like. We can ask each other questions, like Cole was out here being my communications director this morning.
Yeah.
So everybody cares about everybody, Carrie. That's what it is. We genuinely care. And you don't expect that from people that you have only met 2 times in your life.
Yeah.
But everybody on this has each other's backs.
It totally feels that way. Obviously, like this is the last episode in a full series that started with Mike Irwin back in February, right? In the lead up to this event, and then through the end of the event. And obviously I've gotten to know all of you so well because a podcast is a great format to get to know somebody, right? Because it's really just a conversation. And then as we've gotten to know everybody, because we've been preparing to tell this story, because Cameron and I are going to be on the road with you guys shooting for the documentary, we've gotten to know, Zach and his family. We've gotten to know Johnny and his family, Johnny's entire family, and 50 people out to his house when we were shooting there, and Jason and his family. And like there's this, we didn't serve together, but we all served, right? And so there's this familiarity that we all feel because of the shared experiences, even though we had different MOSs and different deployments and different experiences, but all under that kind of on that same foundation. It does have this sense of home and the sense of belonging and the sense of that kind of feeling as we gear up for this thing. It's special.
It's a family. It's a family. This relay team's a family. The crew's a family. We make one big family, but we come from the big family, the Team Red, White, and Blue, and the veteran community. And so that's what, I joined Team Red, White, and Blue 13 years ago. I've been running with the American flag for 13 years. And the reason I belong to this organization, have stayed faithful, and wanted to be a part of this community is because it's a family to me. It's people that care about you that want to see you come out for events. And then ultimately, it has led to this huge opportunity.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. Talk to me about your history with Team RWB. Everybody knows that the Old Glory Relay has now become the Old Glory Ultra Relay. And keep in mind, right, like you don't know exactly how this race is going to go, but this episode will have aired after the race has been completed. But like, what does it feel like to have been a part of the organization for as long as you have, and to not just see the iteration of this event and to see the growth of the organization, but to participate in it along the way, and then to participate in this big one, this big restart, this big new identity for this particular event?
Yeah, so the best part of this story is I was involved in the very first Old Glory Relay, so 10 years ago. And
Yep.
so I was responsible for one day of that cross country journey. So in Western Pennsylvania, I, through Facebook and other messaging systems that we had 10 years ago, I recruited veterans to run from 6 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And these were people that I had never met in my life. You know, they just told me what their pace would be, and they were all runners at that point. And I just trusted these people to show up at a certain time, at a certain place that I had reconned weeks in advance. I had gone out, driven the route, run the route, and picked the different parking lots as far as transition areas, and relied on Team RWB community members to come out and run that day. And Carrie, every single person that said they would come showed up. We passed that flag nonstop throughout the day, and the camaraderie we built that day, the relationships we built that day, still goes on 10 years later. So for me, this is tremendous. That was one of the best days of my life, to see that relay come together, to be a part of that. I have goosebumps right now, to be a part of that experience across the country with Team Red, White, and Blue, and to be able to make that happen in Western Pennsylvania, and to have people that didn't even sign up come out and run with us. And now to lead, to be a member of the Old Glory Ultra Relay team is just a dream, as I say, that I never even had, right? Never even imagined
Yeah.
that this would happen. So, yeah, this is very fulfilling for me, and yeah, surreal, to use your word.
Yeah. What's cool, Mike Irwin and I talked about this a few months ago, and I believe JJ and Sully and I talked about it too, right? Like, I love that you just described that first event in such detail, and it was also very personal the way that you described it, right? Just because this event is turning into something bigger and better doesn't mean that the things that came before it are bad or were bad, right? Like, and
Oh, yeah.
that mirrors our growth as humans and as veterans as we continue to transition out of the military. Like, we get better day after day, month after month, year after year, but that doesn't discount the work that was done previously, and that doesn't minimize kind of who we were, where we were at certain iterations of our lives. And same thing with this event, right? Like, that first one that you're describing sounds incredibly special, but so is this one. It's that the gap of growth in between those two doesn't discount either one on either side.
Right, right. It just proves the growth is what it
Right.
does. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We could not
Great way
have
to say
started with this kind of event, but we could
it. Right.
grow to this kind of event. So, yeah, so people still have that sense of belonging. They're still doing the community events, the chapter events across the country and across the world alongside of us. People will come out and support us. People will come out and run with us. But yeah, we're still representing all Team Red, White, and Blue members and veterans around the world.
Yeah, what's super cool is I've been having conversations. We've been doing the filmmaking process here and raising money to make the film, and making connections to get the film distributed once it's finished. Virtually every single person I've talked to said, "Oh, I've known Mike Irwin for 15 years. Oh, I've been involved with Team RWB for 10 years. Oh, I participated in the Old Glory Relay in 2012. Oh, it's every single person has something not just wonderful, but very practical to say about Team RWB as an organization, as well as the Old Glory Relay. Like, it truly is a thing, as the kids say.
Yeah. It's that sense of belonging. It's
Yeah.
that sense of purpose, whether it was that one day in Western PA that somebody ran with me, or they bowl in a league with other Eagles, or they have coffee, or they have a beer, or whatever. It's knowing that you're a part of that community, and that someone's expecting you to be there and wants you there and greet you there. You know, you're getting a hug before you get out of the car. That's what Team Red, White, and Blue is all about. There's nothing you have to do. It's just that we want you to be a part of us.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so put yourself on the road, kicking off in San Diego, running through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Virginia, ending in Washington, D.C. Put yourself out on the road. What are you expecting? What are you feeling? What have you prepared for? What are some of the scenarios that you're thinking through? Talk to us as a runner.
Okay, so May 2nd is when we kick off from the USS Midway. But May 4th, we are actually running within 1 mile of where my daughter lives in Tempe,
Oh.
Arizona. Yeah, we'll be stopping at the vitamin shop or doing an appearance and a run through with the flag by the vitamin shop where my daughter and I shop in Tempe, Arizona. So I'm already looking 48 hours into the relay and looking for my daughter's face to run alongside of us as we carry the flag through the Phoenix, Tempe area. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on through there, other people are going to come out and support us, and that I know. And so I'm looking forward to those friendly faces, right? I'm looking forward to knowing someone's there because I've met them before and because they care about me. So that's going to be a big motivator for me along the way. And yeah, I'm looking forward to just the shenanigans of my team. I have Johnny Glenn on my team. So, the expertise of Cole on my team as well. And then Zach Lever, just such a caregiver, this big brother feeling, even though I'm the oldest member of our team. I feel like Zach's a big brother to me. And so I'm just looking forward to that. The camaraderie, the shenanigans, the crazy things that are going to happen. I'm looking at this as an adventure. It's carrying the American flag. It's representing all those veterans that will come out and support us, whether they are on the side of the road or they're seeing us on TV or reading about us in their newspaper. I know we're going to be making a connection. Just yesterday at the airport in San Diego, I was wearing one of my Eagle shirts, and a gentleman in a wheelchair said to me, "What's that uniform that you're wearing?" And so I take a step back and, that's how he related. Looked at his hat, USS Kitty Hawk on his hat, Vietnam veteran. And I told him simply what we were doing, pulled out his wallet and made a donation. But more important than that donation, he understood that we were representing him. We were doing this for him and all of the veteran community. So those are the moments that I look forward to, those connections that we can make with other veterans.
I love it. And I love that you framed it rather as an adventure. Something that JJ has said and everybody has said is that Team RWB didn't pull the 12 best runners together. They pulled the 12 best teammates for this particular adventure, right? To use the word that you used, which I love. And it takes 12 individual unique types of people to put together onto these 3 teams in the groups of 4 to make this thing happen the way that it needs to be made. Not everybody can be a runner like Gavin, right? Or a runner like Pete, right? Everybody needs somebody who has other folks on their team, because it's not an ultra where it's like, get this thing done as fast as you possibly can in one go. It's like truly a relay, and it's truly a team effort, and each team is doing something a little bit differently in terms of how they're breaking up their shifts, right? So what is it? How have you viewed that? The team that's come together kind of through the lens of an adventure, and all the different personalities and skill sets that are coming to bear on this.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you're talking about this, because some people might be asking, why is a 55-year-old woman on this relay team? Well, I do have a legitimate resume, over 85 marathons and ultras, Ironmans, swam around Key West, done a lot of crazy things. I've ridden my bike across the country 2 times, even in a relay format as well. So I come from a background, have a lot in common with all of the athletes on the team. But I think Team Red, White, and Blue did and needed to choose a team that represents all veterans, right? So if you look at Team Red, White, and Blue, I'm a pretty good representative of what our community looks like. So we have veterans in their 20s, but we have veterans into their 80s, into their 90s. And so we need to our team needs to look like and represent all veterans and Team RWB Eagles. And so, so that's why we have people from all different walks and backgrounds on this team. I'm getting a message that says reconnecting. Are you with me? Okay.
Cool.
Communication
all right. So you were talking about being representative of the whole of Team RWB as an organization from the different age range. So let's jump back in there, and then and we can finish up chatting about the car, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay. So, so I'm glad that you asked about the team and about the relay members and how they were chosen, because I really feel like Team Red, White, and Blue needed to, and they did. They were successful in choosing a relay team of runners that represent Team Red, White, and Blue members, as well as all veterans, right? So some people might be asking, what's a 55-year-old woman doing on a relay team that's trying to set a world record, right? But I feel like I'm representative of the community of Team Red, White, and Blue members, because we have veterans from their 20s, right, all the way into their 90s. And so I represent one group of that. And I think that Team Red, White, and Blue did a great job of finding 12 different people from different backgrounds, different branches, different experiences, and bringing them together so that everybody that's watching this relay team, everybody that's a member of Team Red, White, and Blue, and will be a member of Team Red, White, and Blue, can find themselves. Right? So they needed somebody like me, older and representative of that, to say, hey, Mary's out there doing that. I want to, do the things that Cole's doing. I want to do the things that Zach's doing and Johnny's doing. So everybody has someone to identify with on the team.
I love it. And like you said, your pedigree, your portfolio, your resume as a runner is there. And it is important for everybody to remember that we're all in different stages of our lives just by our age and all the things that we're doing. And you need to move your body the way that you can where you are and what you're capable of. And that's been one of my favorite parts about getting to know Team RWB as an organization. I think I told on one of the other previous podcasts, I had back pain the last couple of years. And part of it was because I hadn't been lifting weights the way that I had when I was playing high school football and going through selection in the Air Force and, loading bombs in the Air Force and serving all that. And then I got back into it. I was moving my body where I could. I lifted the weights that I could lift at the time. And then I was able to get back to a spot where I'm lifting heavy again and my back isn't hurting. Right. And so it's like, you just have to go on the journey that you're on and do what you can where you are. And in this case, for you guys, it's setting a world record, but it's also providing that inspiration and that spark of momentum for other human beings who want to get into the health and wellness fight.
Right. Yeah. And we're leading the way with that, with Team Red, White, and Blue, and being representatives of what you can do. Yeah. And not everything is for everybody, and everybody has to try something new and do what works for them, just like you're saying, Carrie. Yep.
That's it. Well, let's start to wrap things up. Talk to us about what's behind you. What are you standing in front of?
Oh my goodness. This is just one of the BMWs that we received last night that will follow us across the country. This comes from BMW USA. And of course, I chose to stand by the Army. You can see the Army vehicle.
Yep.
But they also, on the other side, we actually have to share it with the Navy. I think that's crazy. But the other side of the car is Navy. And the wrap on the one beside me is the Coast Guard and the Marines. And then further down the way, we have the Air Force and the Space Force. So they are sweet rides.
Fly, fight, win. I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with you guys and shoot those vehicles, get in those vehicles, and then be in the RVs with you guys as we're getting ready to tell this story. So Mary, as you know, I end each episode of the podcast with an open-ended question. Before I get to that, where can folks find you? Where can folks follow along for the recap of the journey for the Old Glory Ultra Relay?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, mary.rwb, and you can find me on Facebook as well, and that's just Mary Kreis, and you'll see me in a Team RWB shirt in my profile picture. And then, of course, if you just go to teamrwb.org, the first thing that's going to show up there is to learn more about the Old Glory Ultra Relay, and you can find out about our sponsors there. You can donate there yourself and then learn about each of the runners as well.
I love it. I love it. Mary, I ask an open-ended question at the end of each episode. What's on your heart and your mind for our community right now? It could be a piece of advice, something you want to get off your chest, or something you want to reiterate that we've talked about today. But Mary, what's on your heart? What's on your mind?
So just really to follow up with what we were just talking about, Team Red, White, and Blue offers something for everybody. Not everybody is a runner. And sometimes people look at Team Red, White, and Blue and say, oh, that's a running organization for veterans. But I want everyone to know that there's something in Team RWB for everyone. You don't have to run. You can walk, you can rock, you can bowl, you can have a coffee, you can have a beer, you can go to a Spartan race, you can just have a conversation, you can help volunteer. Some of the best experiences I've had is actually raising money for homeless veterans under the name of Team Red, White, and Blue. So I would stand outside of Walmart for 24 hours at a time, dressed like this, and did I lose you? Can you hear me?
Just pick back up with your answer. What's on your heart and what's on your mind for our community right now? Could be a piece of advice, something you want to get off your chest, you want to reiterate that we've talked about.
Yeah. So really a follow up to what we were talking about earlier, in that not everybody wants to do the same thing, or not everybody's capable of doing the same thing. So what Team RWB does is offer all kinds of activities for people at all levels, all ages. So sometimes Team Red, White, and Blue is seen as a running veterans community, but it's not just for runners. Of course, we have runners, we have walkers, we have ruckers, but you can be on a bowling league, you can have a beer, you can have a coffee, you can have a conversation. And truly one of the best experiences that I've gotten out of Team Red, White, and Blue is volunteering to help other veterans. So years ago, I would stand outside of Walmart for 24 hours a day, dressed in crazy red, white, and blue patriotic costumes, we'll call them, and speak to every single member or every single person that would enter Walmart and ask them if they had any veterans in their families. And people would tell me their veteran stories, their grandpas, their uncles, aunts, all of their stories about veterans, and then donate on behalf of those veterans to homeless veterans. So for me, it was a heartwarming experience because I could hear their stories and make a bond with them. So Team Red, White, and Blue offers opportunities not only to help yourself, but to help others. And there's something for everybody, whether nutrition or yoga or hiking, whatever it might be, we have it for you. And it's all free for veterans. And so my call to action today is join Team Red, White, and Blue. There's no reason not to.
I love it. Well said. I'm a member of my local chapter here in Columbus, Ohio, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Mary, appreciate your time, appreciate your energy, appreciate your steps. Excited to get out on the road with you, and excited to support you and the rest of the team as you set this world record.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
All right, we'll see you.
Thank you, Carrie.